What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into the show. Welcome on in, each and every one of you. Eldrazi Spawn. Yes, where's my spawn at? Bring in my spawn. I know that alone you may not feel like much. No power, the smallest amount of defense you could have on your own. But together in a group, we're either going to combine our power to bring forth some kind of great nether evil, or maybe we'll just get buffed. Maybe we'll get some nice buffs, and then we can be a small little army together. Me and you, each one of us working as some kind of symbiotic hive. Hello and welcome to the show. This is Hunt the Week. It is a weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Arena Gauntlet League that we know, love, and play in. This is Modern Horizons 3, Week 5. We're getting there. Oh boy, so much Modern Horizons. We got a lot to talk about. Who am I? I am your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home, the pride of Mardu. I am a 4-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and 1 time I got knocked out of Modern Horizons 3 League. It's true, I did. I am no longer there. Patrick J, the fullest M, just knocked me out, man. His deck was great. We had a pretty good game, but really his deck was just, it was just running hot, as the kids like to say. But we got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead, and it's hard to talk about it because we got so many mechanics, but let's talk about all the mechanics.
Too many mechanics, baby. Too many mechanics.
We're not really talking about the mechanics. That's kind of a little, it's just a segue. We're not going to talk about the mechanics, but we are going to talk about the top 8. We're going to talk about the Bloomborough rule set. We're going to touch on Zombie League a little bit. There's so much going on in the server right now to be involved with and to get in on. So if you're looking for something to do, I mean, Kevin, who was just on last week, has his casino side event going. But this is your Modern Horizons 3 Week 5 top 8. Here we go. Number 1 with a bullet, Joaquin E. Diabolic Machine, 21-4. He's been on the podcast. Okay, he's been on, past guest, friend of the show, trying to break a record. If he goes 5-0 this week, he breaks the all-time record. 5-0 in Week 6 is hard, but hey, if anyone can do it, Joaquin can. I believe he's already locked for top 8. Congratulations, Joaquin. Daniel G. Frisky Hobbit, 19-6. Nick A. Neestar, 19-6. Both been on the show. All 3 have been on the show. Zach C. Zach Carr, 18-6. Has not been on the show. Would love to get Zach on, maybe one day. Christopher G. Oompa Loompa, friend of the show, been on the show, 17-8. Michael B. Monkey Beige on the show this week, 17-8. Jordan MJ Mtron, you know he comes on the show, 17-8. Emmett F. Sepulcher, 17-8. Emmett F. with the 6-0. Mr. Big Britches, Emmett F. Sepulcher, 6-0 on the week. Congrats. You don't see many 6-0s. I don't know that I've ever seen a 6-0, honestly. Maybe 1 or 2 ever, maybe. You don't see it a lot. Congrats, Emmett. Playing some great Magic in the top 8. And then we also have a 5-0 this week from Joe H. Joe Cool. Joe, I remember, Joe is coming back because the last time Joe top 8'd, I think, I could be wrong, but I remember me and Joe both made top 8 in Chaos 2, and I was 7th and he was 8th, and our tiebreakers were 0.01, and every time a game played, we would flip-flop who was in 7th and who was in 8th, and it was so stressful, because we were both done, so like, we both ended up making top 8, and it was fine, but it was that whole rest of Week 6, it's like, man, these tiebreaks are so important, switching our spots back and forth, and here he is, 5-0, and in Week 5, setting himself up for a chance at another Mega Draft. So we have no new players in the top 8, huh? Neestar. Is Neestar new this league? I thought they played last league. Let me double check. I need to do more research when I'm not recording. No, yeah, they've been around. They were in Thunder Junction. It's their second league. So they're new-ish, but they're not new. And they're not in contention for Rookie of the League. Is that maybe Matt F. made my bus? Currently 16-7, highest ranked new player, I think. I could be wrong. there's a lot of names in here, and some of these people are coming back after a long hiatus. Maybe they've been here before, and they just weren't on my radar, right? It's the biggest league of all time. It's what we do, and it's going great. Let's talk about it. So I got knocked out. I didn't talk about my record last week. I was too busy going on a rant about Player of the Year stuff, which I do apologize for. But I went 3-2 last week. So week 1, 3-2, week 2, 2-3, week 3, 3-2, week 4, 3-2, week 5, I got knocked out at 2-2. So I finished with a total record of 13-11, which is good, not great, right? It's fine. It's definitely a positive record. It's something to be proud of, but I am shooting for that Player of the Year. I need every win I can get. And right now, from what I remember, the person who's right behind me, Johnny, still alive, still getting wins. So now I'm rooting against Johnny, which I really hate. I hate that I'm rooting against people now. I need to start rooting for myself, and I need to stop rooting against other people, because I like these people in the league. I don't ever want to root for people to not do well, right? I just want to root for some good games. Unless you're playing against me, then I don't know. I want to win. But 2-2, got knocked out this week. Here is my feedback for Modern Horizons 3. I like to do my feedback on the pod. I thought it was great. I mean, I really liked it. I liked it a lot over time. I think I was maybe down on it early. The classic Goku, if you follow the show, classic Goku is down on it early, learns to love it after all. I said early on I didn't think the sealed was going to work, much like Concept Kier. I think the sealed actually worked pretty great, at least up until weeks 4 and 5 and 6. It's kind of the problem with a vanilla league is that the meta gets stale, I think, and I do talk about this in my interview, is that the meta gets pretty stale, and it's mostly Eldrazi decks at this point. I am seeing non-Eldrazi decks every now and then, but Eldrazi is the best deck to play in the format. Once you get so many packs, you're going to have a lot of those cards. It's easy to throw it together. It's going to be strong. It's hard not to play that deck. And then the gameplay is maybe a little uninteresting, but everyone's splashing big bombs, and I don't know. I like the format. I like Modern Horizons 3. I'm really glad that we got to play a modern set in League and on Arena. Super cool. Really exciting. I know it's Vanilla League. I know a lot of people say it's probably boring and maybe not their cup of tea, but I think Vanilla Leagues are important to temper expectations, to reset the level. Like, I'll tell you, I'm so excited for Bloomburrow because we've been playing Modern Horizons 3 for 5 weeks straight. And hell, here's the thing. I'm not even done with Modern Horizons. I'm playing in Zombie League. I love it. I wish I could just keep playing. I like my deck in Modern Horizons 3. It's just there's so much strong stuff out there, and it's so hard to compete with everybody. But it's a great set. It's fun. It's a fun set. The games are fun. The deck building is complicated and also like fun. I don't know. I like Modern Horizons 3. I like Modern Horizons 3 League. I know it's vanilla. I like vanilla. I'm not going to say I love vanilla, but I like vanilla as a reset. It's a nice reset of your expectations. Get you ready. Get you excited. And when everything is special, nothing is special, right? But that's Modern Horizons 3 League. We are counting down. Week 6 next week. We'll see who makes the top 8. Biggest league of all time. Hardest top 8 to make of all time. But, like I said, excited for Bloomburrow. The Bloomburrow rule set has been announced, and it looks great. Let's talk about it right now. Slowly you open your eyes. A field surrounded by dandelions. They are taller than any you've ever seen. So is the grass and the distant trees. What plane is this? You run your hands over your face in confusion and freeze. What happened to your face? Are those whiskers? Are you covered in fur? Is that a tail? Welcome to Bloomburrow. You have arrived just in time. The night owl has returned, leading the calamity beasts back to the valley, living seasons that warp the environment around them, bringing blizzards, floods, droughts, and blight. Everyone needs to rally the animal folk of Valley. So, this is a non-vanilla league. Magical boons. There are 10 animal folk that you must visit, each of whom will offer you a unique boon to assist you on your journey. After each match loss, you will be presented with your choice of 3 of the animal folk to visit. Choose carefully. Whichever animal you select, you will receive their pack and boon as you set off on the next page. But once you have visited an animal, you will not be able to visit them again. What does this mean? I'll break it down real easy for anybody that plays the video games out there. Have you played Hades? Someone was playing a lot of Hades when they made this rule set. Because in Hades, you level up, you get a boon, and you pick one of 3 boons, and that's your little perk, right? It's a little perk you get. You also get your pack per loss most of the time. But basically, when you take a loss, you will be offered 3 choices of animal. Each one of those animals comes with a pack and some small bonus. These are those boons. Bat. The boon is Cave Exploration. You get a pack of LCI, so you go offset, and you receive 2 map tokens, and I believe those are for pack rerolls. I haven't totally looked at the rules, and I assume any pack can be rerolled, but this is a greatest hits. This really feels like a greatest hits of a lot of leagues. This feels like, Lost Caverns of Ixalan. There's kind of past, depending on what boons you take, and everyone is going to give you a nice little bonus. You also have Bird's Eye View. You get a pack of Bloomburrow, and you get to choose your next boon from anything. So any boon you want, you kind of get to pick. Frog, Leap Ahead. You get a Bloomburrow pack and any Explorer legal set, which is any set that was ever legal in Standard. But the bonus is you skip your next pack and bonus. So big upside of getting an extra pack when you take it, but big downside of losing your next pack and bonus. Lizard, Desert Survival. You get an OTJ pack, and you will receive 1 random uncommon and 1 random common Amonkhet Remastered Desert. Very cool desert flavor there. Mouse, Tiny Mite. You get a Bloomburrow pack, and you will receive 2 random tiny heroes. Tiny heroes were legendary commanders that cost 2 or less? 3 or less, something like that, if I remember correctly. I haven't looked at the bonus sheets. Don't get mad at me. Next, we have Otter, Spell Chase, Bloomburrow pack. Receive 2 random spells from the Animal Arcana. That could be a huge boost. 2 random spells. Rabbit, the boon is Multiply. You get a Bloomburrow pack. Copy any common from your pack. Sounds super fun. Raccoon, the boon is Trash. You get a choice of 3 random packs. So with Raccoon, instead of opening a new punishment pack, you will take one of 3 random punishment packs from the trash. These are packs that were re-rolled with the map tokens, packs that people want. But just because their trash wasn't for them doesn't mean that it is not your treasure. I think this is super interesting. Rat, Scavenge. You either get a Bloomburrow pack or a Woe pack. So, Rat, you open 1 Bloomburrow pack and 1 Woe pack. Select one of the 2 packs and trash the other. Okay, so this is another way stuff gets trash. Not only the pack rerolls, but everyone's going to be trashing either a Bloomburrow or a Woe pack. Squirrel, boon is Stash. You get 1 Bloomburrow pack now, or on your next loss, you get a Bloomburrow plus an Eldraine pack. Original Eldraine, too. So there's 6 ways to open Bloomburrow. Kind of, they kind of like to stick to the 5 or 6 or 7, like an OTJ, in set packs, and then the outliers. I like how they put OTJ on there. It's a really strong set. Everyone gets a little taste of that. I think this looks awesome. I don't have much to say about this other than it looks great. I really can't wait to play it. Looks really fun. I hope everything works out. Like I said, I haven't looked at any of the card lists for what are in all the special sheets they did, but I'm sure they did a great job. It's going to be... I'm so excited. That's the thing. Now that we've been playing some vanilla, I am ready for some sprinkles, some hot fudge in my Magic. That's Bloomburrow League. Sign up now. Sign up early. Sign up often. Looks great. Going to be a great time. Set looks super fun. It's the cutest thing in the world. Nothing will ever be as cute as Bloomburrow. I'm a frog, mostly because I recently played Chrono Trigger, and I really just want to rep Frog from Chrono Trigger, the entire league. But yeah, pick your favorite animal. Doesn't mean anything. You get to pick your favorite animal on registration. People are going to be changing their icons to their animals and making a fun thing out of it. Everyone have fun. Everyone get involved for Bloomburrow League coming soon. But we can't talk about what's coming soon. We got to talk about what's going on now. So please join me as we annihilate entropy.
And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation.
That's right. We are annihilating entropy together this week with none other than Michael B, a.k.a. Monkey Mage. Michael has played in one other league. He top-8'd it. He made Rookie of the League. He came back. He played in the Rookie of the Year tournament. Then he left for a year, and he hasn't come back. But he's back now, and he's doing great. And I just really wanted to talk to him. I think he has an interesting story. He's obviously a great player. To only be playing in 2 leagues and top-8ing in both, I mean, we're talking Thomas, we're talking Jordan, we're talking Dan A. Beatdownbringer. We're talking some of the greats. It's not easy to do that. You have to acknowledge it when it happens. So yeah, I talked to Michael B. Monkey Mage all about his Magic history, where he comes from, what he's all about. Great interview. Loved talking to Michael. Go ahead and listen to that interview now. All right, everyone, join me as we annihilate entropy this week with none other than Michael B, a.k.a. Monkey Mage. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, Michael. You're up there right now, fighting for your top 8 spot. You're doing great. We actually had a game this week. We had a really great game. I'd like to know, when did you start playing Magic?
I started back right around the time original Zendikar came out. So 2009, I believe.
Nice.
I remember that I think M10 was out, and I was very confused at the time because about why it was out. So
it's when they release all those sets, I always have a hard time thinking back because I started right around M14, but that was right after I always have a hard time doing this. Right after Gate Crash or Dragon's Maze, and right before Theros, the Theros blocks. So I missed all of the Innistrad and the all the Phyrexian stuff, and a lot of the things that have been going on, the Mirrodin stuff. All of that is stuff that I don't know a lot about. It's always hard for me to keep track of all. And even now, now sets come out all the time. I mean, there's so many sets.
Yeah, no, I played with a few friends very casually for a few years till Ravnica, and then a couple of those friends left the game. I kind of left for a while and then came back after I graduated college in the summer of 2017. Started playing at a local store, and that's actually when I got into limited. Before that, it was all kitchen table Magic, though. That's kind of limited in its own way because you're just playing with cards you open. But,
yeah.
So. Yeah, played a budget modern deck for a couple of months.
Ooh, what was that?
It was a Kadolth Rebirth token goblin deck.
Ooh, interesting.
Was trying to get back into Magic, and I played a couple other of decks in because Modern was the most popular format at the store. That I was like, I'll try going to the store, get slaughtered because you don't have a deck that's at all competitive, and then
you don't have a $800 deck ready to go for.
Yeah, and so I spent quite a few hours in the last semester of college printing out proxies to try to figure out what a good deck would be. So using the free printing at the school. So
smart guy. I love it.
and so I ended up playing a Kadoltha Rebirth, many variations of red sort of stormy tokens deck. So
that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a good time. And Modern, that's back when Modern was something special, What do you know what set, when you were getting into limited, do you know what set that was around 2017?
Yes, it was right at the end. It's going to be funny because my first set I played all the way through was an Ixalan, notoriously bad for limited. But but I got back, because I got into limited. I think I played 3 rounds of Amonkhet Hour, three weeks of that, and then Ixalan came out.
Amonkhet Hour. Oh, that's a good one, though. At least you came in on the end of a really good one.
But yeah, so.
Awesome.
So that got me into limited for quite a while, and have basically played minus a few kind of short break, a short break where was trying Brawl, but other than that was played.
Who's your Brawl commander? Who's your go-to?
Oh, at the time, I haven't played it in a while, but I was playing in the store when it first started. And so I think I was playing, I played a few different ones. We had a good group going for 9 months, and then rotation happened, and we were like, yeah, we're kind of done with this. Yeah. But I played a lot of Rona.
Nice.
Gix, or whatever. like like the 3 mana uncommon one.
You don't
From
hear a lot about in-person brawl.
yeah,
That's not one that really caught on.
there was a guy at one of the people who worked at the local store who really tried to push it for a while, and so played for that for 6 months or so, and then it kind of fell off at rotation, as you kind of expect Brawl to do. So
Yeah, that's why people like Commander. Yeah, you still have all your old cards, you throw them together.
yeah,
That's
so
that's that's the beauty of it.
but otherwise, I'm like 90% limited, 95% limited. Occasionally dip fingers in to
Yeah,
other.
yeah. Every now and then you got to find something new. Like I,
Yeah.
I, I play some standard every now and then, just when I,
Mhm.
don't want to waste my gems, or I just want to play control. Just want to play a real control deck. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll
Yep.
jump in standard. It's a fun time. Anyway, Jeremy, I don't know if you saw this, but Jeremy posted this crazy historic deck that I really want to see in action. That's like discard a bunch of stuff, copy Omniscience, and like cast Emrakul. I don't know. It looks insane. But
Oh, is it using the waste the what is it the Greenland from this
yeah,
set?
yeah, yeah. Uses the Greenland from this set. Looks super fun. Um,
Okay.
yeah, uses the Greenland from this set to copy anything in your graveyard, copy Omniscience, and then you just play all this big stuff. I love a weird combo deck. That's something about me, Michael. I love a weird combo deck that like people don't know what to do, and then as soon as they know what to do, you lose. But
Yeah.
the couple
Yeah.
times you get them, oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, no, I enjoy a weird combo deck. I think I really enjoy those limited sets where you can kind of be combo-y, just
Yeah,
where the combo deck kind of hidden in the set. Sometimes it's at like you need a rare or two.
yeah.
Like in this one you've got what is it? Warren Soul Trader and the uncommon the one in the black, what's its name? Whenever you sack an artifact or a creature, deal 1 damage to the opponent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Marionette Apprentice.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Fabricate, yeah. Marionette Apprentice, and there's like 2 free sack outlets at rare. The better one being Warren Soul Trader, just because you can sack the treasures immediately.
Oh yeah.
But you can kind of pseudo combo off by getting 2 damage for every creature you have in play.
Oh,
And so
nice.
and so I've just definitely enjoyed the black decks in this format, despite it being the nominally worst color, just because you can do a lot of interesting things with them between like there's like especially if you get some of the higher rarity cards. But there is like the carriage at uncommon to sack stuff, but not quite as good.
I saw this week. I saw Jeremy Lurgoy play a game where he had the Sheldon Gengar, Sire of Famine, the 6/6 flyer. You can sack stuff to make blood tokens,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he ended up doing the thing, getting 6 blood tokens, bringing back everything from his graveyard, and he had 2 of the 2/3 elementals in there. So it was just a bunch of pings, and he pinged someone for like 20 damage
oh
out
yeah,
of nowhere. It was
yeah.
it was really fun. He said living death at home as in the chat, like as he did it. It was really fun. But
Nice.
yeah,
That is pretty sweet. Yeah,
there's a lot of fun combos, and like that is the
yeah,
fun thing in limited, right? Like every now and then you get to play
yeah,
kind of like the cycling deck in Ikoria is probably like the most common. Like that's kind of a combo deck. You cycle through all
yeah.
your things, you play your big burn spell. But
Yeah, yeah. You had the defenders deck in Dominaria, but
yeah, that was a fun one. Although that one just
yeah.
felt bad. That one was like too good sometimes. Like,
I
uh,
felt I didn't get that impression after like the first week. I drafted it a lot the first week, and then
oh,
I never felt like I got a good version of it again.
that's true. It does. You have to have the perfect version with like
Yeah,
4 of those bird
like
makers.
but it yeah. Well, it just needed 1 or 2 and then ways to recur them in my. But it did feel like because of the Shield Guardian,
Yep.
but it also felt like it felt like if you had a good version of it, you couldn't lose. It did feel like that.
Oh,
Like
what a
yeah,
fun archetype.
yeah,
Defender, making Defender a good
yeah.
archetype. Oh,
But yeah, for the most part, you only get this in like the master level sets, the combo decks, just because you need those more synergistic cards
and
outside
and
of the
and that's
yeah,
where we are now, Michael. We are in
yeah.
Modern Horizons 3 League. We are in week 5 as we record. We are deep in Modern Horizons 3.
Hmm.
You're doing great. Let's uh
I
pull
wasn't at first.
you weren't how'd you start? I love a good
I
turnaround.
started 3-5.
Did you have a 5-0 week? Because I remember calling you out.
I
I
had
think I called you out on the show for having a 5-0 one week.
I had a 5-0 last week. I might have had two. I don't remember. I started 3-5 and then I got to 14-6, so I felt quite good
Wow.
about that. I was I had to switch up my deck. I got tempted into white by two Glyph Elementals and Guided Shoals, and I don't think I reevaluated soon enough.
Hmm.
Like, I think I was right to start there, but I got a lot of good green cards later with those early losses, and
Was there
so
a turning point? I mean, you go from 3-5 to
I changed my deck.
14-6.
I changed what color. As I said, I got more green cards, and then I reevaluated and decided I needed to be blue, green, splashing red instead of white, blue, because I had a few good white cards, but I was more trying to be proactive, and I've never liked being proactive in sealed.
Yeah, no, I like a nice long game plan.
Yeah,
Low and slow. I'm building a good stew over here, and I need my time. That's
yeah.
how I like to do it.
Plus, I do
Uh,
think there's a little more variance in 60 card versus 40 card, so
yes,
that
there's yeah.
favors a little bit slower deck or deck
It's
decks.
hard to play aggro. It's hard
Yeah.
to like in 60 cards. Just it's hard to have that mass of stuff, and
Mhm.
I mean also in this set in particular, there's so much removal that's like 1 or 2 mana that like in every color. Like it's hard to get an early game plan even going. And there's life gain in like the Eldrazi decks too. Like
Yep.
sure, give them life gain. But you're crushing, you're doing great in Modern Horizons 3. Um, any tips or tricks? Are you enjoying the format? Are you drafting a lot outside of the league?
Yeah, I've been drafting a little less now. It's been a month or so,
Yeah.
but still drafting a couple once or twice a week. Been enjoying it a lot. I find that, as I said earlier, when the black deck is open, it's like there's all sorts of little synergies at rare and at higher rarity, and
Mhm.
then and they come late. If they're coming, they come late, and the good cards come late. Uh, Otherwise, I've really found pivoting late is okay in this set. One of the things, like a
Yeah.
really open lane for a really open lane. Like I've pivoted as late as like eighth pick or something with like just a couple playables, and so and
I
it's
think
worked mostly worked out.
I think I've pivoted completely in pack two before. Just been like, oh, like weird 3-color mythic that like I wasn't planning on seeing. That's not in my colors. Like I'll give
Yep.
it a shot. Like I don't. I'm not too attached to what I got because sometimes you start going after that Eldrazi or energy deck and you're just like, this is not coming together. Like
Yep.
we gotta
Yeah.
fix this. Do you like it though? Like you've been playing since 2017. You've been doing a lot of draft formats. Is this one you think is going to be an all timer for you, or is this one uh
Um.
you know just another draft set?
Hmm. It might be close. I mean, it's definitely up there. It might be recency bias talking,
Yeah, it is
but
good.
it's definitely up there. Like I
I liked OTJ a lot. So if I compare it to OTJ,
yeah.
I think that's up there. But I like that one a lot too.
I like it better than OTJ, I think.
Okay,
I I don't like it quite as much as a couple of my favorites, but it's definitely one of my favorite
what
top
are a
sets.
couple of your favorites? I got to know now.
Let's see here. Really liked Midnight Hunt.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
Kamigawa was definitely a really good one.
Hmm.
March of the Machines was probably my favorite of.
Mom, yeah. Who doesn't
Yeah,
love Mom?
yeah.
Mom's a great one.
Just
Great
felt like you could
sets.
do so much in that set.
Yeah, there's so much, and like the cool design. Like the battles
Mhm.
are great. Lots of great design going on in Marcham, and like fun cards to open in the bonus sheet.
Yep.
I've been
Yeah.
so I love a good bonus sheet. I just like anytime there's a good bonus sheet, I'm like, yeah, that set's good. The bonus sheet's good. It's like it adds so much for me.
Yeah. I think one card on the bonus mom stood out to me, which was what was Rada Hedron Grinder added so much. I felt like to
Oh
the deck.
yeah, yeah. Who doesn't
I
love some Rada?
I do remember one time having the fourth. There was a spell in the set that made all creatures 4/3s and draw a card for
Okay.
each one. And I was like, I could kill a creature before attacking, but I'm sure this is lethal. Just the old, sure this is lethal. Uh, Throw everything at them, cast the spell.
Yeah.
I go to 0 cards in deck, and they end up at 1. And I'm like, I could have killed a creature before killed one of my creatures before
Oh no.
killed them next turn, but I did not. But I was
Those
like, yeah, whatever.
those moments, right? I've had that happen in Modern
Yeah.
Horizons 3 with the Kozilek's Uprising, Unsealing, the one that whenever you cast a creature 7 or more, you can draw 3 cards. I've
Yeah.
had people like I'm beating them down, and they're like stabilizing. They just start casting a bunch of big 7 drops, and they lose because they draw their whole
Yep.
deck. And it's just like,
I
oh,
ha- I had a deck that like that where I just could not win the game. I was in one of the matches because I had Kozilek's and Sealing in play and I couldn't cast my 8 drops
yep.
because
Like I
I
need this
bought
thing
too
to,
many cards.
to kill this thing, but then I lose.
Yeah.
What a fun set. You get fun stuff like that happening. Um, oh, well, this is a fun question, Michael. I am so curious. This is your second league. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So you have only played one other league, and it was the Lord of the Rings League about a year ago.
Yep.
You made top 8, rookie of the league, had a great league. You come in your first league, you do great, but you don't come back. I want to know, Michael. It's been a year. Why didn't you come back, and what brought you back?
So reason I didn't come back was because I was starting a master's program and moving at the same time,
Oh,
and
that'll do it.
that was not a good idea on its own. And I was just very busy. This came to summer, and I had a little more time because master's program didn't manage to get a summer class in, and so
Mhm.
they didn't fire one for the program I'm in, and so I had a little bit more time, and got the message for this one from York, I think,
Mhm.
and I was just kind of reminded me of this, and I had wanted to do another one league, and so I was like, sure.
Did you enjoy Lord of the Rings?
I
Because
did.
it's
I enjoyed it
very
quite a bit.
different,
But
right?
I enjoyed it. I actually liked the rebuilding every week kind of format. Like
Yeah.
I know some people it's kind of time consuming, but I enjoyed kind of the reevaluation, having different challenges and such to also made it so some weeks felt better than others where it was like, oh, I actually have a really good deck this time rather than just piecing something together.
Rather than, oh no, I'm 3-5 and I got this same deck that's not
Yeah.
doing it. What are we doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings was a really fun one, but it's very different than this, and I love hearing the opinions of different mechanics, because I know this is what we call vanilla, where we stay in one set, and
Yeah.
this is kind of the not seen much anymore. Like I have you been looking at the Bloomborough stuff that's been coming out? Have
A
you?
little, not too much, but poked at it a little.
I have also poked a little, not too much. It's interesting. I'm curious. It's going to be another weird kind of league, and weirder mechanics, and it looks really fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I also think that Modern Horizons 3 is working. I think it works as all in one set. Although, I mean, I can always do with some weird stipulation. I love the weird stipulations.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I think there was one week last time where it was like one different color pair each time, and
Yeah,
that was quite interesting to build.
it was like different color per each time. There was like the Brawl Week. Uh,
Yeah.
there was
I
I don't
have a
remember.
great
Yeah,
story from it wasn't no, it wasn't the Brawl Week. I think it was the I think it was like the odds evens week, I believe, because I was playing
yes.
and I ended up playing Boros in evens week, and I'm doing well in a game, beating the opponent down, and then they play Witch King of Angmar, and I'm like, oh no. And what's on top of the deck? AON. And
Wow.
I was like, okay, this feels perfect.
Wow.
Uh, Exile the Witch King, but
It's
just I loved the theme of that one.
Lord of the Rings was a really fun set. It was
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a while since I played it.
yeah.
Maybe I just don't remember. But I remember having fun. I liked it. It was and that was a good league. That was a really fun one. And you come
I
in,
enjoyed it a decent bit. There were some interesting things to do in the set. Uh, I like this set quite a bit more. I think I enjoyed the form this, but I enjoyed the theme. There was some fun thematic things also,
yeah.
just from it being a well-known art like uh kind
Yeah,
of
you get to stay
story.
with
Yeah,
buddies, you get to watch the hobbits eat food. Isn't that
yeah,
great? And they
yeah.
do things when they eat food. It's so fun. And then so yeah, you top 8 that league, rookie of the league. Did you play in the rookie of the league
I did.
tournament last year?
Yep, yep. scrubbed out in the first round.
Hey, it happens, man. Top eights are tough.
Yeah, I think I forced blink. I saw ephemerate early and
Ooh,
had to
I
take
like
it.
that. When that works out, that's a really fun time.
Yeah,
All right,
but
Michael. Sorry, go ahead.
no, just didn't quite get there. I think in that one, I believe. Yeah, so
Hey, there's always next time. You're a guy who likes to top eight. You've been in, like I said, you come into one league, top eight it in Modern Horizons 3, looking on your way to top eight it again. And like I said, I've played against your deck. It's a mean thing. It's a mean one. So I am definitely rooting for you to go all the way. But I want to know, and I always learn a lot about a person from this question, Michael. What is your favorite Magic card?
that is a hard one. But
It's so hard.
But I'm
It's like picking a favorite movie. It's so hard.
yes, I'm prob. I'm gonna go with the ones my friends probably would say because I
Okay.
seem to have a habit of picking it in cubes, which is ephemerate.
What a good segue.
Yeah, I tend to I had a time when we were at CubeCon and we drafted like three cubes and two like or three cubes in on a or no. I drafted it like three of like the seven cubes I played. So
Hmm.
and they were like so at this point I almost can't take it in when playing with some friends because they'll like, give me a hard time about it.
Well, I'll say, you said you started Modern Horizons in white blue. You're talking ephemerate. Are you in a white blue Azorius player? Is that your kind of play style?
Yeah, for the most part, when I actually play constructed, I will default to a white blue control deck.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. You playing
yeah,
this white blue control tech that's in standard right now? It's okay.
a little bit. Yeah, I
It's
have
good.
at least have it together for, but obviously no event, not many events or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'll play. I played it. I play it occasionally.
it's
I've been doing
fun.
more Pioneer of late, but yeah,
Yeah. What are you playing in Pioneer? Because I
uh,
I need to get out of standard. I need to either play.
mostly white blue control. It's just easy to have. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Is it
It's
good
just
there? Is it good there too?
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
not a top deck. It was more popular right after No More Lies was released, but
Hmm.
I've been liking it still. And don't feel like I have that bad a matchup against too many decks.
That's what makes it fun, right? It's
Yeah.
control. You earn it with control.
Yeah.
It's a fun
Yeah.
time.
You don't get like a turn three Fable the Mirror Breaker and just go all the
Yeah.
way.
No,
Yeah.
no. You gotta try hard to
Yeah.
not die by turn 5, and then you gotta figure out a way to win by turn 10.
Yep.
Well, Michael, we asked the league for questions. They didn't disappoint. I think we got some good ones. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Our first question comes from Jack H, aka Rakic. Why do you keep beating him? Crossed out. Ha ha ha. Very good joke, Jack. How have you enjoyed Modern Horizons 3 compared to your first league, Lord of the Rings? Do you prefer a league like this with no rules or something more complex? I think we went over this a little bit, but please answer the question.
Yeah, I do kind of enjoy the ones that are a little more complex. Just the chance to mix it up between different rounds. Like it's nice to have a deck that kind of keeps growing, but it's also but if you're doing well, it's like your deck stops growing at some point, or
Hmm.
where it's like you might get the occasional good card, but sometimes it's just you get a pack where you're like, there's nothing really I want here. And so if you have a decent deck already, whereas if you have a deck building stipulation that changes, then you have to mix it up from week to week, which keeps things kind of fresh.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that the meta is stale in a league like this where we only open Modern Horizons and it's 80% teamer Eldrazi decks?
Uh
Or are
maybe
you seeing more? Like I feel like that's what I'm seeing, but other people are saying, there's blue black. I saw another aggro deck today, so I know it's out there. But I am seeing mostly green value decks. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think about half the time I see an aggro deck, the person's wrong for playing it.
Yeah, the aggro decks they're
Like,
falling off. There's a reason
yeah,
there's not many anymore, I think.
yeah, like,
Oh, but when they were good, they were
yeah,
good. That's the thing. Is like they were
yeah,
great in like week 2 and like maybe week 3, but like now everyone's drawn 1,000 cards and playing chrysalis after chrysalis after chrysalis.
Hmm. Yeah, especially when some people probably have like four chrysalises.
Oh yeah, I'm sure by now there's people. I've got 6 Eldrazi repurposers. I'm only playing 4, but I got 6 of them.
That the 2/2 that
Oh,
adapts them out.
the
Or-
3/3 that just makes a spawn on ETB
Oh
and
yeah,
on death.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
he's that guy's great. I mean, he's fine. He's not terrible, but he's doing work. He comes in, he trades, he makes me guys. Like those guys do things. It's a dance. It's a beautiful dance.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I've got four of the 4/5 that taps a creature. I'm not playing any of them main deck, but as many as want can come in when playing against aggro. So
Those ones have been really. I've been so impressed by that card. Like that's a card that
yeah,
I don't play much, but like it always beats me. And if it's beating me, I know it's good. It's one of those
yeah.
cards. Adam would love to know, and you haven't looked much, so maybe you don't know what is going to be your BLB Bloom Burrow animal. There's 10 animals to choose from. Are you going to
Yeah.
come back? Are you going to play Bloom Burrow? You think?
I'm like 50/50 on it right now. It'll
Okay,
depend on how I'm feeling in terms of time when this ends.
it is.
Going to
It
be
does
doing some
take time.
have to travel for work soon, and so going
Yeah,
to
that's not
don't
fun.
really like trying to play a lot while traveling, so and tend to be busy at home when doing that. But regards to Bloomborough animals, I'm sad to not say squirrels. I do love the squirrels, but
Mm-hmm.
I think otters has to take it for me.
Oh, really? Otter? And now
Yeah.
you just think otters are cute, or do you like the color pair?
Both, both. I do love otters, clever little animal, but also blue red's definitely one of the archetypes I enjoy more, and the mechanics look pretty good also.
Blue red's another fun little combo deck in Modern Horizons 3. Like if you get that good energy engine going, oh, so fun.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I am loving these like this Bloomer set looks so cute and so good. Like all these animal cards are so adorable. This whole thing is going to be so great. And yeah, this Bloomborough League's it's got some real fun mechanics and themes that's go along with all the animals. I think it's going to be great. It's just so everything's adorable. How do you not love it? Cute little animals.
Yeah. Yeah, Offspring set certainly. I've seen the Offspring mechanic, and that one definitely looks like a good,
Seems great.
interesting mana thing that also could be kind of annoying. Honestly, does seem like it could be a little annoying.
Oh, seems so good. Seems great.
Yeah,
You just get two
yeah,
of the same good card.
yeah.
Yeah.
For your opponent, it seems like where it's like, okay, I have to remove two of these because it's like they have like say the one that pings when you play a spell, and it's like, and at low life total, it's like,
And I've seen
yeah,
at least one card that populates, so there might be like populate could be a mechanic, and if it is,
okay,
oh, that's a good token to copy. I don't know, they're not
yeah,
legendary. Yeah, that's the Offspring looks really cool, and then food's coming back. Who doesn't love food? Going back to Lord of the Rings, like the food's always a fun mechanic. Uh,
hmm.
Gotta love
It's
it.
a good way to get artifact synergies into green.
And it's a good way to get life gain all around everywhere.
Hmm.
Uh, and it allows the league that they're able to do fun things with this mechanic. Like there you get woe packs for some of them. It's like, and I was thinking, I was like, why do you want woe? It's like, oh, because it's food. They're tying in the food mechanic to other sets.
Okay.
Really cool. Evan C. Piece of Crab would love to know favorite monkey card in MTG.
Favorite monkey. I think when thinking of monkeys, there's only really one monkey that anyone can think of when that comes to mind.
There's one
Utabi
good one.
orangutan.
Utambi orangutan. Of course, of course. How could you think of anything else?
Yes.
And what's your favorite mage card? Favorite monkey card and favorite mage for the monkey mage?
Kind of goes with probably my other favorite card to draft in Cube, which is Venser Shaper Savant.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a fun one.
Go- yes, goes quite well with Ephemerate uh and I remember back in Double Masters 2, it was like just the fact that he can bounce lands is so mean and also kind
Yes.
of great. I remember back in Double Masters 2 when my opponent played a bounce land on 2 and I was like, I'm sorry, this game's over. They had bounce lands in that set and it was like, this does not go well together. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like taking someone down a peg, just trying to use a bounce land. They're just trying to play the game, and you're just gonna ruin their day. And
But
maybe
yeah.
you'll do it with your orangutan right there with you next time. Uh,
Mhm.
who knows? Our next question comes from Tony G. Why not rock? What are your top limited archetypes, e.g., you are spells, aristocrats, etc.? Could be broad or very specific. What is your favorite kind of limited deck to play?
I enjoy grindy or controlling decks, either ones that draw a lot of cards or recur stuff for value.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the rare obviously one is kind of combo-y decks also, whether it's Chthonian Nightmare or like the Sneaky Snacker in this set, or
Yeah,
but like some of my favorites are like the graveyard decks from Midnight Hunt, uh, Blink decks when they come up. They're pretty rare actually in like regular sets. I think the last time I remember an actual true Blink deck was, I think it was the like second Double Master set, just because
yeah, it
they tend to
was.
be kind of annoying to play against.
And they're
They
they're
take
hard to pull
generating
together
value.
too, right? Like you need the right mixture of blink spells and like ETB creatures and like
Somewhat. I don't feel like they come like, maybe in regular drafts, but it didn't feel like it's just. I think they're annoying because every card generates value for the most part, and so I think they just end up being. Honestly, I think they end up being too consistent actually. If they come together, where it's just like everything draws a card or bounces something or
yeah.
exiles something, and they end up in that kind of. They're fun to play against occasionally, but they can be kind of annoying sometimes. Like
But
as
yeah,
someone who enjoys playing it, yeah,
it's a little eggy, right? Like it's
yeah,
goldfishy, right? Like you're like, cool, I'm gonna bounce my mole drifter, play my thing, draw some
and then
cards.
reflector major creature
Yeah,
or mana
okay,
warrior
yeah.
creature,
I'll do it
yeah,
again next
yeah,
turn. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very
But
annoying,
then,
but fun
and
when you're
then
doing it.
yeah, and then Spellslinger and combo decks when they can come up. Combo decks are like my favorite, mostly just because they're kind of rare and regular limited. Like
Hmm.
in Vintage Cube, less so. Like Cubes, less so. But
Yeah.
but in regular limited, where it's like trying to assemble one, because they tend to often be either higher rarity or require some higher rarity cards or something like that. Like uh, there was a Masters set where they had both Dark Depths and Thesmian Stage, but it was hard to assemble
Hmm.
both because both were rare.
Well,
Stuff
there was
like that.
also even like the Sahili Rai cat combo. Like you could draft that, but you had to open the planeswalker and the
Yep.
uncommon cat. But it's like, yeah, that I win the game combo was in the draft set. Um, and you just had to open the right two cards.
Yep.
It happens.
Yeah.
Um, Richard K. Preacher would love to know. By the way, you're talking my language. Combo decks, value decks, green black, value. Yeah. We like the same decks. I'm not a big blink guy. You lose me a little on the blink, but all the other stuff, I'm there. Richard K.
Okay.
Preacher would love to know most expensive meal you've had in a restaurant.
Oh, that's a hard one because I don't buy many expensive meals.
Yes, it's a tough one.
I think it's probably when I went with someone either and tagged along. It's probably not one I bought, honestly.
Nice. That's the best kind
Uh,
of expensive meal.
yeah, probably. It's probably one where I tagged along for my brother's birthday, for one of my brother's birthday, and my parents ended up paying the bill when I was like
Nice, nice.
17 or 18. He had just come back, or I think I was like 19. He had just come back from Switzerland, and so he had a fondness for fondue and stuff like that.
Ooh, a
And
taste
so
of the finer things.
yeah, and so they for his birthday they brought us to a very high-end kind of restaurant where it was like you had like a kind of cooking vat in like the middle of the table, and like the food was kind of cooked on skewers and
Ooh,
at your table and stuff like that.
that sounds great.
Yeah, it was very fancy. It was good. It wasn't honestly probably my favorite meal, but it was probably the most expensive one.
It sounds expensive. Yeah, I mean, if you're
Yeah,
cooking food right there with
yeah,
sticks and stuff, yeah, very expensive.
yeah.
Fondue, I know that's expensive.
Yep, and then the fondue afterwards, they had like brought it to like the pot to the table or whatever, and gave you stuff to dip in it and such.
Who doesn't love that? You got
Yeah.
a good little dip. Oh, the dream.
Mhm. Yeah. So it was
Oh.
definitely a delicious meal. It was probably not the best I've ever had, but it was definitely the most expensive. It was like 400. I think it was like $400 or $500 at the
Oh
end.
my gosh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. I know. It was like- yeah.
I love Richard always asks the food questions. I love it. Our last question comes from Joaquin E. Diebach Machine, number one in the standings right now. Joaquin having a fantastic league, 20-3. I mean, I think, yeah, he's on a tear. He would love to know, what is your favorite 2-drop? No stipulations, no colors, no names, no animals, just favorite 2-drop.
Oh, that is probably the harder one than favorite car, honestly.
There's a lot.
Yes. Off the top of my head, I love Thalia. Like, it doesn't really go in the type of decks I enjoy, but
No, you don't want to be blinking with Thalia out. That's gonna cost more.
But it's also like a card I don't know. I like the character for one, that helps. And it's just kind of I do enjoy a good taxing deck also.
Taxing is fun. Taxing is annoying.
Kind of like Death and Taxes, discard. Yeah.
Also, just 2/1 first strike on turn 2. Yeah. That's a great start.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good body, and but yeah, as someone who likes to play control and big spell checks, Thalia's always making me feel bad.
I know. I've definitely played against it in Vintage Cube and been like, okay, I just can't win.
Yeah, if you're like, all right, I have all right, I'm gonna untap and use all my mana too, and they throw down Thalia. I'm like, nope, I can't do that anymore. No, I'm a turn behind on everything, and now I lost. Great,
but also love playing Thalia, so there's that.
Thalia's a great character from a great plate. I think it's a great choice. Well, Michael, that's going to do it for the interview. Thank you so much for coming on the show, for talking to me about Magic and learning a little bit about you. I had a fun time doing it. And thanks for playing me this week. We had a really great game, and it was awesome. It was super close.
Thanks.
I appreciate you. Me. Hey, thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming on, and I'll be rooting for you the rest of the week. Good luck.
You too. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Again, I don't can't say enough nice things about him. Got me with that orangutan monkey quip. The guy's, he's quick, he's fast, he's got jokes, he likes good cards, he loves to play control. I like it. Michael was speaking my language, and like I said, he's currently in the top 8. One more week, just keep doing what you're doing. You can make that second top 8, second mega draft. Be rooting for Michael, because again, he was a cool guy to talk to. He's a great player. I've been watching him his deck, and I've been watching him play. Could you imagine he comes in, just plays 2 leagues, and top 8s them both, and just kind of dips? Blows my mind. Like, dude's good. Dude's really good. I just can't say enough things about him, not just as a person, but as a player. But we don't all get to keep playing, do we? No, myself, I didn't make it through the week, and hopefully you did, but not everybody did. So join me as we say goodbye to those that are no longer with us.
No one's going to tell this sweet prince good night.
To be or not to be. Not to be.
Steve T. Strout. Francois R. Ayora. Oscar T. Aussie Tubby. Tony G. Why Not Rock. Miguel B. Athurius. John P. Goku or Go Home. Chris R. Sinkwater. What good company I'm in. Chris R. Sinkwater. Tom M. Tom Sonic. Joe T. Elasticity. Chris O. 91. Kyle C. AFK Isle. Ryan M. Rern. Mitchell S. Spaghetti Mitch. Jethro J. Big X Julius. Matthew G. Wolf I. Enrique O. Cakes. I'm saying that one wrong. Sorry, Enrique. Avery JB. Avery of the Elves. Cody Race. I believe it's Bug now. But hey. Jeremy E. Lord Goif. Evan L. Evan. Caleb G. Why Not? Wesley C. Gigavoltaic. Nick S. Najisi NJS III. Damon B. Nomad. Paul G. The Dragon. Zeke W. Smarmy Platypus. Alex O, NLP, Nicholas K, Bionic. Yeah, and then everyone else was read last week. Yeah, Modern Horizons, it's going good. Again, I'm having a great time. I understand that maybe not everybody likes the vanilla stuff, but I think it's good to have every now and then a nice palate cleanser to get you ready and get you excited. And I also think it works so great for Modern Horizons. I'm sure the League Committee could have designed some amazing league for it and everything, but I also think it just worked. Like, the set allowed for it to work. It doesn't always happen like that. You know, sometimes they design a league and, like, the set doesn't, you know, WoW League turns into Mom League, or, oh, you want it to be a vanilla league, and then it's like, oh, then it turns into Lord of the Rings, and half the color pairs aren't playable, and it just doesn't work, right? Like, the set itself dictates so much, regardless of how much design you can put into it. The set has to be good, like one. You know, like, one wasn't a great set, one wasn't a great league, but some people like it. I don't know what my point is there. But when it comes to league design or just vanilla leagues, it all depends on the set, right? And I think it just worked well with this set. And again, I'm glad we got to do it. I hope you're enjoying it like I did, because I had a really fun time with Modern Horizons 3. I am ready for Bloomborough. I am ready for Kevin I. Knie's Casino. Sign up for that. First game's coming out of that. I'm ready for the next Roto. These Bloomborough cards look super adorable. I'm not following spoilers too closely. I never do till the end, and then I'll do a ton of drafts. I'll catch up real quick. But I hope you're out there having a good time. I hope you're keeping a good 7, because we're in week 6. And if you don't know what's going on with week 6, read the primer. Ask somebody. Say, hey, what do they mean when they say week 6 different? Because it is a little different. And I hope that shuffler's in your favor. Because if you made it to week 6, you got lucky along the way. Sure, you built a great deck. Sure, you played some great Magic. But you also had some luck on your side. You played to your outs. You did what you needed to do. And you just got to hope that it continues to make that Mega Draft, make that top 8, make that Player of the Year. And we'll see everybody here next week for more Hunt the Week Modern Horizons wrap-up. Bye, everybody.